اينشتاين بيقول التعليم مفهوش ملل، حط نفسك مكاني هتفقد الامل. ملينا المدرسه ونظام صب وكب، شرح طول الوقت عمل لنا دروب. يا استاذنا عقلي مش سبونج بوب، يشرب المعلومه وبعديها يكب. هنا في نوسكول طلعنا من الدروب، لعب مرح تفاعلات هتعجبك يا بوب.
نوسكول أكاديمي. Simply learn different.
Hello everyone, welcome to Nowschool Academy, and this is Miss Nihal with you. Today we're gonna have the last session of this term, Unit 16, the grammar, and we're gonna talk about the reported speech and the third conditional, if conditional type 3. So let's see what we have today. We have, as I told you, the grammar of Unit 16, which is talking or was talking about the good luck and the bad luck. But before anything else, get your tools, bring all your things beside you. Pay attention with me, please, because you're gonna get amazing things and new grammar rule. I think some of them are new or newly introduced for you for the first time today. So separate anything or separate yourself from any kind of distraction beside you. And for the agenda or the objectives or today we're gonna explain the difference between the statement, the question form, and the yes or no questions and the information questions of the reported speech form. Also, we're going to express some situations using the third conditional if, and we're gonna differentiate between this and the second conditional if that we have taken before. And also we're going to differentiate or analyze some texts using the reported speech, which is called also the indirect speech and the direct speech. Okay, so let's get started. But before anything else, I just wanted to memorize with me the keywords that I asked you from the previous session to do and prepare. I've asked you about the reported speech, what's meant by the reported speech, what's the general idea that you may know about it, the word statement, what's meant by statement, what's the difference between the statement and the sentence. Just write down in the comments below. Also, what's meant by third conditional or if conditional type 3. Have any one of you done this? Please write in the comments who prepared and who didn't do so. I will know. Okay, also before anything else, before getting started seriously, just pause the video or go down to the link below the video and do this pre-quiz quickly and come to me to start our session seriously. Go and come back. I'm just waiting for you here. Don't be late. Hey guys, where are you? Welcome back. Okay, are you all here? Okay, let's get started. I told you that we're going to talk about the reported speech. So this teacher is pointing on the board and telling you that our session today is about the reported speech or the direct speech. Both are two forms. Both are different from each other. Direct speech or indirect, which we call reported. So the indirect can be called reported. What is the direct speech? Direct speech is the true words, the actual words that someone opens his or her mouth and said. Okay, so these true words are written in a certain punctuation form. They are written between punctuation marks, speech marks, quotation marks, quotations, and the very first letter of the said words always come in capital or the uppercase. So this is all about the direct speech. Here are some examples about the direct speech. This woman said, I like this dress. So we can say she said, comma, notice the punctuation marks, comma, speech marks. I imagine the speech marks as the lips, okay? The lips opened for someone to talk and closed after finishing talking. You can imagine this also. So I like this dress, close the quotation marks and put full stop, okay? So this is the direct speech. To change the direct speech into indirect speech means to report this speech. So why do we do this and when, okay? And how also? But first, let's start with why do we do this? We move from the direct speech to the indirect speech when we want to focus on the meaning, on the overall idea of the spoken words, when we want to repeat what someone has said, okay? to report. To report means to repeat. For example, Miss Nihal said to Ahmed, wake up. So Ali is asking Ibrahim, what did Miss Nihal say? So they are talking about another third person in the speech. They are reporting. So the words are transferred and repeated so many times in a certain way. This is called the reported speech, not the actual words that Miss Nihal said. Okay? Also, we change some tenses and some words. The verb is going to be changed for sure. And some words also are going to be changed to mix and match with the meaning of the reported speech other than the direct speech. For example, if we return back to the example of the woman saying, I like this dress, so we want to report this or to repeat these words to another one. So we are going to say, she said, okay? Don't put speech marks. Pay attention here. That, we add this from our own words, that she, because when she opened her mouth and talked about herself, she said I. But we are now reporting what she said, so we can't say I. We say she, okay? She liked, she said I like. Notice this, we're going to talk about the verb changes. Like, this is gonna be that, and dress without also the ending of the quotation mark, and that's it. So this is the change from the direct speech to the indirect or reported speech. As I told you, no quotation marks. It's written here on this slide. When we use the indirect speech in writing, forgot about the quotation marks or the speech marks. We usually have to change pronouns from I to she, I to he, and so on. And also the verb tense is going to be changed. Let's move on to the verb changes. Here we have a certain table. From my childhood, I used to say it in a certain way like a song, and it stuck in my mind till then. Do you remember the unit of memory and memorizing? So try to memorize this in such way. Present simple, past simple, past simple, past perfect, present perfect, past perfect, will, would, can, could, shall, should, and so on. Again, can you say it as a tongue twister like this? Present simple, past simple, past simple, past perfect, present perfect, past perfect, will, would, shall, should, can, could, and so on. Okay? This is the verb change. We have also another change for some pronouns and some words. As I told you, I is gonna be he or she. This is gonna be that. Now is gonna be then. Today, that day. Yesterday, the day before. Next week, the week after, or the following week, and so on. Here is a blue table that's for the changes. You can repeat it. You can study it by heart and write it so many times till it got stuck in your memory to memorize it later when answering. And we have here some examples to focus on the changes. For example, here a man said, I saw the film last week. So the main or the origin of the speech, this is in the bubble called direct or indirect. Of course, it's direct. The man is opening his mouth and said such words. When you want to report this, so you're gonna say he said that, forgot about the speech marks and alter them with that. Instead of I, you are going to say he. So is past simple. Past simple is changed into past perfect. He had seen. This is gonna be that, or the is the as it is, and last week, the week before. So this is written in front of you on the slide. You just put the words in order in the same way. This was the statement. Statement means the sentence, the regular and normal sentence, not a question and not negative. Not in the negative form or in the interrogative form, which is the question form. So this is the statement, set of words beside each other's and with full stop, okay? Let's move on to the reported questions. As you know, we have two types of questions, yes or no questions and question word questions, or the questions that starts with question words like the WH questions. If the questions are starting with a helping verb, which means that they are yes or no questions, we alter them when we are going to change them in the indirect speech by the word if or whether. But notice the spelling of weather. It's not weather, which is the climate or hot and cold. No, weather spelling W-H-E-T-H-E-R. Okay, it's different. So how can we do this? For example, you have here one example to make it clear. You omit the helping verb and put if and whether instead of this with the changes as they are. But instead of said, you can say asked, okay? Or any other verb that expresses asking about something related to the question and answer, okay? So here we have a question that said, are you okay? So the original words are you okay between speech marks. This is the direct speech. When we want to change it into the indirect speech, so we can say he asked me, not he said. He asked me if or whether. Why? Because this is a yes or no question. Notice the order of the words. It's going to be in the form of a sentence, not a question. Whether or if I was okay. Okay? Because the present simple is going to be past simple, and so on. Omit the speech marks and put full stop instead of the question mark. Let's move on to the WH question word. What are you doing? This is the original question between speech marks. This is the direct. In the indirect, we're going to say he asked me what. So the what is strong. The question words are strong. They keep as they are. What is going to be what? It's not going to be changed. What I was doing, not are you doing. Present simple, past simple. I, he or she. And the order of the words instead of the question form, the statement form, and full stop instead of the question mark. Okay, you got it? You can replay this again to get the point, okay? Here also we have another example. She asked me what is the problem. So we can say what the problem was. She asked me what the problem was in the indirect speech. She asked me, have you seen Tom? She asked me if or whether I had seen Tom. Present perfect, past perfect, according to the verb tenses change. And now what? That's all about the reported speech. That's all about the reported speech. You can pause the video now and replay it to get the point so well and be perfect in that point. And then if you are okay, so let's complete the session of today. The second part of this video is talking about the third conditional. Third conditional is a type of if. And if you remember, we took the first and the second types. What's the difference between those and the third type? So let's go into the point itself and talk about the uses, or when do we use the third conditional. Third conditional actually is used for regretting something, used for criticizing people, used for something imaginary and impossible. Everything in the third conditional happened in the past, okay? The situation itself is in the past, and the regression is in the past. The criticizing is in the past. The condition itself is impossible to be done, you see? With the third conditional, there is no possibility. With the third conditional, we are using the past. With the third conditional, the condition is not going to happen. It's impossible to happen. We use this for impossible conditions. Third conditional type is like a dream, but actually there is no possibility for the dream to come true. Let's see the two clauses. If you remember, we have the cause. The if clause is the cause, and the result clause, which is the next part of the sentence. So we have here an example to emphasize the form and the usage in the same time. Let's talk about the form. The rule itself says what? Says we start with if, then the subject, then past perfect. Again, past perfect, not past simple. Past perfect. In the side of if, we use past perfect. Then comma, subject, would, could, might, plus have, plus pp. So in this side of if, we have past perfect. In the other side of the result clause, we have present perfect, but after the modal verb. One of the modal verbs. The main one is would, but you can say might, could, or should as well. They are true. Let's read the example. If I had won, past perfect, had plus pp. The lottery, comma, I would have had. It's not a mistake. Would have and the PP is had. 1,000,000. Okay? Another thing here. If I had bought a lottery ticket, I might have won. If I had bought the lottery ticket, I might have won. One more example, and actually it's a rephrasing exercise as the rewrite question comes to you in the exam. It's talking about the Titanic ship. You know it? Okay. Here is the situation. As you notice, it's in the past, and we want to rephrase it using if conditional type 3. The Titanic hit an iceberg, then it sank, okay, and sank. Let's see how can we form if conditional type 3. First of all, put the rule in front of you and apply it using the sentence. So here, using if conditional type 3, because it's an imaginary situation, we are talking about something impossible to happen because what's done is done, okay, something in the past already. So here we can say if the Titanic hadn't hit, because the PP from hit is hit, the or an iceberg, it wouldn't have sunk. Okay, because sunk is the past participle from sink. Sink, sank, sunk. Here is our final quiz for this session. I quickly finished the if conditional type 3 because actually it's so and quite easy. All the grammar now is between your hands in these videos, so you can replay it whenever you want and wherever you want. Get anything that you want from these videos. And before going to do the quiz, make sure that you're able to do this. You can do it. Go for it. And I'm waiting for you here. Don't be late. Welcome back. Hello, hello, dearest students. Have you finished? What's that? Have you finished studying? Studying doesn't finish. Actually, it's endless. Okay. Now let's remember what we have taken throughout the whole session. First of all, we talked about the reported speech. We talked about the form and the tense change and the statement, interrogative form of the reported speech. For example, in the direct speech, we say the words between speech marks, like this example, he said, I'm sad, between speech marks. When we want to change or report this into the indirect or reported speech, we say, he said that, instead of the speech marks, we cancel them. He said that, he was sad, present simple, past simple, and full stop, okay? For the questions, if it's a yes or no question, we put if or whether. If it's a question word, we use the question word as it is, but watch out your order and sequence of the words. Instead of the question form, you use the statement form or the sentence form, as you call in your own words. Then we transfer to the third conditional type 3 or if conditional type 3, and we said that it's about imaginary situations, impossible situations, impossible dreams to happen or to come true, something all in all in the very old times and past. And then what about the rule? The rule is very important because the sequence of the words in the rule is very important. We start with if, capital I, then the subject, then the past perfect, which is had plus PP, comma, subject, would, may, could, or should, plus have plus PP, which is the present perfect. And of course, one important tip here, that if can come in the middle as we used to do this. Instead of in the beginning, it comes in the middle with a small I and no commas. Okay? Also, we said, or we talked about the uses and the form here. For this, we come to the moral and ethical value of today. And because we are about to get to the exams and we want to be ready for the exams, so there is an ethical value and moral value of working hard, of harvesting what we planted. What's this? Means من زرع حصد ومن جد وجد. Okay, من جد وجد ومن زرع حصد means that if you work hard, you will succeed. This is if conditional type 1, by the way. And because here it's not an imaginary situation, you have the chance to do this. So we are not going to use the second or the third if conditional. And for the homework, please check the attached files. Don't say no because this is the very last and the finishing of the year. So let it be the last homework for this year and don't say no. Go and check the attached files to know your homework. For the next session, I want you, inshallah, to be prepared with no, wait, Miss Nihal, what's that? Where's the second session? Where's the next session? Surprise, no more preparation because this is the end of the term. Till we meet again, I will miss you so much. Thank you for watching and listening me for the whole term and goodbye.
الحصة تكون عجبتك وبنقول لك ما تنساش تحل الكويز اللي في المصادر وكمان تقيم الحصة تحت في التعليقات. منتظرينك في اللايف في حفظ الله.